Geometry, the most dreaded topic as far as CAT is concerned. People will tell you to develop your imagination, to imagine figures, to visualize things, but what they don't tell you is how it could be done. Students have so much faith in cramming up, in mugging up all the properties, all the theorems, but what they forget is that nothing will help until the basics are clear. And that is what we are going to target. When you have mugged up that in a right triangle, a square plus b square is equal to c square, and when you see a right triangle somewhere, you will immediately think about Pythagoras theorem, even if the question is not based on it. On the top of that, I have seen students knowing the right theorem, but they don't see it getting applied in the question. They don't see it, they don't visualize it. But if your basics are strong, if you know how the properties were derived, if you have played with them enough, if they are at the tip of your fingers, if you have a map, a family tree of all the theorems, all the properties in your mind, then when you see a right triangle, not only will you think about the Pythagoras theorem, but also about how angle in a semicircle is 90 degree, how right triangle's circumcenter lies on the midpoint of hypotenuse, how a median divides it into three similar triangles, how Pythagorean triplets are formed, and there are many more such properties which will be fresh in your mind, properly sequenced like an index page of a book. I want the problem solving process to be as cool as Iron Man's suit. If you have seen that movie, Tony Stark's suit gives him all the details of what he sees. And that is how I want your mind to work. You see a problem, I want you to think of all the ways to proceed about it, all the theorems that can fit into its context. Now trust me on this, I have tried this with many of my students and it has worked miraculously. Go through all the videos one by one, they link one property to another and they have all the derivation of all the properties, which might even bore you for a while, but it is not easy to develop someone's imagination. So bear with me. In a few places, actually very few places, I have skipped the derivation part and taken the end result directly. So it totally depends on when and where it was necessary. The sequence of videos is pretty important as property from one video will be used to prove the property in the next video. And also there are solved examples after each video based on the concepts you have learned in that particular video. So once you have gone through all the videos, I want you to take a piece of paper and write everything down. Every property that you have learned and how you reached it. Okay? In the textbooks, you might even find tables of properties, a number of pages containing those tables, but there are not so many. There are a very few basic ones and rest all the properties came from those only. Okay? So go through all the videos one by one. If there is something that I have asked you to do after a video, do that and see you on the other side.